Jonathan, welcome to WP-Tonic. We're back for episode 24. The next 4 shows are going to be pretty interesting. They're all going to be about WordPress membership plugins. And first of all, we got to define what is a WordPress membership plugin and what are some examples, and then how you can use them and what other things can you use with those plugins. So we can talk about that for the next 3 or 4 minutes about what they are. And then we're going to have 3 shows where we just talk about the plugins. And then the last show, we're going to find a developer or a expert on these plugins who actually probably owns one, have them come on the show and we'll do an interview. How's that?
Sounds great, Bill.
Okay, so let's talk about the plugin. Give an example of what a plugin is.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good start. So let's say you're the owner of a local yoga studio and you're really popular, and in the yoga field, you've got reputation. So, you've got a big yoga studio, but there's only so many people that can get in to the lessons. They're busy people. So how could you offer more value? Well, you could have on your website, you could have a membership section and you could video your yoga lessons. And then as an added bonus, or you could allow people just membership of the website. People could still do their exercises by your yoga lessons that have been videoed.
Right. You could video those lessons. They could sign on to that same website in maybe just certain pages into that plugin and have a code they put in, and then they can watch. And they could pay an annual membership or a monthly membership for $5. But you also have to have a way to collect that membership data. Is that in the plugin, or do you have to have something like MailChimp or another Aweber on top of the membership?
It depends what you mean by data, Bill.
The people, the names on the membership site. That where do you keep?
Well, the plugins normally deal with that, but also, I've built quite a few of these type of solutions for yoga studios and other. I built one for a guy that did guitar lessons, and he also sold video. He sold those lessons on a section of his website that was for membership only.
Okay. So you know what? Let's get right into these plugins. I'll let you describe them, and then I'm going to come back and probably ask you a couple questions at the end. So which plugins are we talking about tonight?
Well, but before that, I think I just want to quickly outline that there isn't there must be over 25 membership plugins on the market at the present moment. And there isn't one plugin that can meet all the requirements that somebody might want. And one of the key advice is that you really do want to think, what do you need? And you need to work with a developer that can ask the right questions before you start. Either you do this yourself or you're going to hire a developer to help you do this. It could really turn into an expensive mistake where you have to redo a lot of things because you haven't looked, which payment gateway you're going to use. Are you going to use PayPal and Stripe, or does your site need to use some other payment gateway? Do you need e-commerce support? Will you not only be selling, digital content, which you need sections of your website to be protected, but are you going to actually be selling goods? Are you going to allow people to upsell or downsell their membership levels so they can move? Let's say you've got a bronze, silver, gold, and you're going to move up and down. Are you going to allow people to suspend their account, but then allow them to reinitiate their account? And like Stripe, if you utilize Stripe, which is fantastic, some of these things you can't do with Stripe and you can't do with PayPal. So these are some of the things you've got to know about and work out, because you don't really want to do like half the work and then you've got to strap it all and restart again.
Right. I think we're going to have a couple shows next month about Stripe and PayPal and some of the other merchant services. We could talk about that for a whole month, couldn't we?
Well, you could, Bill.
No, there's a lot of differences. PayPal, like for example,
Yeah. So let's go.
PayPal's pretty easy to set up for just a basic, online code pay with their buttons, right?
Yeah, you're right, Bill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a couple here that I've utilised myself, and I would say that if you're just looking for a basic membership site without some of the things that I've outlined, both that I'm going to talk about work fine with PayPal and with Stripe. But they don't really work with some of the other gateway providers. But we are going to be talking about some other membership plugins that work with almost every gateway provider. The first one I'm going to start off with, Bill, and I've utilised it on my own sites and on client sites, is Paid Membership Pro. And Paid Membership Pro is a really fantastic plugin. Like I say, it will work with Stripe and PayPal, and it does work with a couple other gateway providers. You have to utilize some additional micro plugins that a lot of them are freely available from Paid Membership Pro to get some of these additional gateway providers functionality. Its strength, Bill, is that it's free. And how does the developer make a living from that, Bill? Well, they pay for support. You get the full functionality of the plugin, and most of the additional micro plugins are free as well. But if you need support, you've got to pay around $97, $99 a year, and you get the full support package. You get full access to their forums, email support, access to the core developer and his wife. They're great. They're great. They offer really good support. To be fair to them, even they do offer a certain level of support, even if you don't pay for it, which is very gracious of them. But it doesn't match the paid support, Bill.
Yep. They have a membership site. Talk about membership sites. For $97, you can join their membership site for a year.
Well, the support site, yeah.
Yeah, I just pulled it. It's called a PM Pro membership site. Membership. Best for developers.
But its strength is that it's pretty rock solid code. It's well known to be really, really well coded up. The documentation is pretty good. If you're not trying to do something too complicated, it will do drip feed. What I mean by that is that you're offering content on a scheduled basis. It will allow you to do that, but you need to download and install one of their micro plugins to do that. But then it will do it. It sets it the kind of payment pages. It does set those up for you automatically. Like I say, I've used it about 4 or 5 times, and I've used it on my own startup, and I've been very happy with it, Bill.
Have you bought their membership program? It says best for developers.
I haven't actually, because I've just hacked away, Bill.
Yep, it's $97, and it's really designed for developers. It says best for developers.
Well, it depends on what level you want to take it. There are a lot of good resources on YouTube and other resources that show you how to set it up, and it does have a lot of filters and hooks. It has extensive API system, and it has a lot of hooks and filters that allow you to extensively extend its functionality. And if you're a hardcore developer, you can go literally crazy with this plugin.
Very good. Very good. Looks like a good one.
Yeah.
So driving on, any summary in this? I mean, it's free. Everyone could try this out on their fun site.
Well, kind of free, but you do need to do, if you're going to attempt this on your own, like I say, there's some quality resources out there that shows you how to set this plugin up for a basic membership site. But if you've got no experience at all with WordPress and you were trying this, I wouldn't suggest utilizing this plugin. But I think you could have a go at it. I think it depends on how much time it'd take you a few weeks even for you to get your head around it.
Yeah. That's a good point you just brought up. Different people grasp things at different speeds, and depends on your level of expertise. But if you keep on working at something, you'll eventually get it. And that's perfect what you said. I understand exactly what you mean.
Depends how much, what your time's worth, really,
Yep. You can really spend a lot of time putting together a website and playing with a new plugin.
Yeah. And then the next one I'm going to talk about is Restricted Content Pro. And this is another plugin that I've utilized. It's from Pippin Plugins, and the chief developer is Pippin Williamson, and he's well known in the WordPress community. He runs a well-known podcast, one of our competitors, Bill, and he's a great guy. I think he's only 26, 27. I think he's published over 100 plugins, and he's got this plugin, and it's also very, very good. It's very well coded. It's not free. You have to pay, but the single license is very reasonable. It's $42. To get it to work with Stripe, I think you have to buy one of their paid micro plugins, and I've forgotten how much that is.
I was just looking at it. Let's see. I'll hit it here. Keep on going.
And like the unlimited license,
it's $20 for single.
Yeah.
Unlimited 67.
No, it's 42 for a single, isn't it?
It's 20 for single. 2 to 5 is 42. Unlimited 67.
Is that for the micro plugin?
That's for Stripes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the main plugin license.
Oh, the main plugin. Yeah, it's you're right.
That's 42, 86, 132.
Yep.
See, it soon mounts up. If you need the Stripe, that's an additional charge.
Right, and different people are going to be using different things, and some people might have PayPal and Stripe.
Yeah. He does a number of other plugins, which this works with really easily. If you're into the Pippin world and you're utilizing, he's got a couple of other really well utilized and well-known plugins, and you might be utilizing those, and they will work with this. His support is really, really good. His support team. He even answers some of the support tickets himself, which is quite amazing. He's a really fantastic guy. It's a great plugin. Its problem is not with itself. Its problem is it's up against Paid Membership Pro.
Yeah.
That's its problem, because they're both fantastic developers. One of the things I would say is with Paid Membership Pro, the chief developer just concentrates on one plugin, Paid Membership Pro, where Pippin does have people working for him. He has a team, but they have a number of plugins which they're supporting. So, and like I said, it's a great plugin, but its problem is that it's up against another excellent competitor that's free. But it also does offer some additional functionality which Paid Membership Pro doesn't offer. They're not big things, but you need to look at both. And there might be some things that Restricted Content Pro offers that the good thing about restricted content is because it's a paid thing, a lot of the training material are freely available. So you can do a bit more detailed research than you can do with Paid Membership Pro, because the support materials is what they charge for, where Restricted Content Pro, he offers more of the support content, so you can do a bit more research because you're actually paying for the plugin.
Right, right.
It swings around. In some ways, Paid Membership Pro is a really good plugin. Like I say, I've used it and I'm utilising it with MailRite. So I must, I highly rate it. But in some ways, I prefer that if you just want to try it out, you just have to pay like $60. You pay $42 for a single license, and you might have to cough up $20 for Stripe. So you're just paying out $60, but you have all the support documentation available, so you can do a lot more initial research. But I wouldn't say that they're not difficult, but I would say both of these are kind of more developer orientated favourites. Then they don't. Some of the others are more aimed at the owner, but there can also be kind of things you got to have in consideration. The more owner-orientated ones tend to have a lot of a lot of options, and they can get quite confusing to set up.
Very good. So as we wrap it up, I'm trying something tonight with Skype for our behind the scenes. If you're listening to the podcast, you can tap on the face.
I thought we were going to talk about one more.
Okay.
Members Press.
I just had these two on the first show, but go ahead. Right. You know what? If you can talk about it, it's 17 minutes right now. If, you can talk about it in 2 minutes, just real fast. Yeah. Now on the third show, you're going to tell us which you think is the best, right?
No, I'm going to talk about 3 other ones.
No. But by the time we get to our last shows, we're going to have covered about 9 plugins.
Well, I'm going to talk about some others the next show.
Yeah, but I'm saying, on the third show, you're going to tell us which one you really like.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm going to give you some options. Okay.
So real fast, behind the scenes, tap on your if you listen to this on your iTunes, or not iTunes, if you listen on an iPhone, tap on it, and you can see the behind the scenes Skype broadcast of this episode. And I'm on Skype. I'm trying something tonight. I pulled up these 2 sites, and you can look at them. Should be able to look them on your phone. Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about MemberPress. MemberPress, I haven't actually utilised this myself in anger, but I had a good look at the website. It's highly rated. It's got some extremely positive reviews from other respected reviewers. Matt from the Matt Report did an extensive review of this, and also had the owner, the actual CEO of the development company behind this. It's extremely impressive plugin. It has a lot of options which the previous 2 don't have. It's more kind of somebody that's trying to set it up themselves. It has extensive mechanisms to protect the organisation of content into categories and pages. It doesn't offer a lot of gateway integration. It's very similar to the other 2, where and you have to buy the developers pack to get some more. I think I'm correct in saying that in the 99 edition, you only get Stripe and PayPal. And with 199 version, I think you get Authorized.net and a couple other gateway providers. But if you're looking for just Stripe and PayPal, it's something definitely to look at. And if you're not such a developer, I really think it's one that you need to look at with the other two, and it might be the one that you go with. But it is $99. So it's also a bit more expensive, and I think they haven't got quite so many micro plugins because you don't need it, because they're throwing in a lot more of the initial functionality that you might need than the previous two. And that's probably why it's $99, Bill.
Okay.
So that's basically it. We've looked at 3. And we're going to look at probably 3 others. Probably in the third episode, I'm just going to talk about WooCommerce and their solution, and then give a general overall and give a couple that I really think are the kind of at the top level. Give like 2 suggestions that are the leaders, and tell you why I feel that. But it is a difficult one because none of these that we're going to be talking about, Bill, are dogs. They're all pretty good membership plugins with slight differences for different purposes, but none of them. You're not going to have a terrible experience with any of these, Bill.
Very good, Jonathan. Well, we need to wrap it up, but before we wrap it up, we each get about 30 seconds to talk about what we're doing with our business and our own commercial here.
Well, I'm trying to get some veterinarians to become beta testers of my product. And they're difficult people to talk to, Bill, because they're really busy. But I'm trying. And these beta testers will have the program for free for life. And they will have our total support, Bill. And I think it's a fabulous offering.
Go to mail-right.com.
Yeah.
And then you could go to New Media Gold, and I sold my first 3 betas last week real fast. They're all taken right away. And what's kind of neat is one guy is an MLM, one person owns a ranch and is developing a feed system, and a third person is running for office. So I got my politician, I got everything in my beta cell. And WP-Tonic, we're starting to build a WP-Tonic. That's our site for tonight. But New Media Gold's starting to build a site, and it's up right now. And it's got a lot of work to do on it, but again, we're in beta right now. And I think I'm going to actually open up 10 more betas next week at a little higher price.
All right. Well, the empire grows, Bill.
Yeah, we'll see how keeping me busy, too. Really busy. All right, Jonathan, it's a good show. Next Sunday night, we'll be back here with the second part of the show.
There's tons to talk about membership plugins, Bill.
Very good.